kiddo. All right, so I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We are going to start this week off by doing some, I guess you would call brainstorming about another topic for another All About book. Okay, so we write a lot of All About books in kindergarten. We wrote some in the middle of the year. We wrote Beaver books. You wrote, oh, Miss Stars, what was your book about? Was yours the princess book? No, I can't remember. Drawing books, painting books, princess books, all kinds of all about books that we write all the time. And I'm ready for you guys to start another all about book. And what an all about book is just simply a book all about something you know a lot about. Okay? And a lot of times kids are surprised. They're like, I don't know a lot about anything. But actually, yes, you do. And today, what I'm going to demonstrate to you is how we brainstorm, which means we think and we come up with ideas of things that we know a lot about. All right? And all you're going to need for this is a piece of paper. And I'm going to use a marker, but I prefer you use a pencil, so that way if you make a mistake in your writing, all you do is quickly erase it and then write over it, okay? So we're going to generate a list, and I would love for you to think of 5 things that you know a lot about that you could write a book about. But if you can only think of 3, I'll take 3. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 5, okay? I'm going to write about 5 things. So what I want you to do is we're going to do some numbers really quick. Ready? And we're going to write our numbers from 1 to 5 in a list. And I'm going to do it in marker so that way you can see it really good on the screen, okay? So here's 1. Okay, so we're going to do this in a list though. So instead of going from left to right, I'm going to go underneath the 1. Okay? And I'll put a little space, and then I'll put a 2 with a little period next to it. See that? And then I'll skip a line. And I'm going to make a 3. And this is called making a list. This is 4. This is a good way to practice our numbers, right? And 5. Oops, I got to put the flag on high. And 5. Okay, so I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 written in a nice list, okay? And they're all right underneath each other. So there's my 1, right underneath the 1, I've got the 2. Right underneath the 2, I've got the 3. And right underneath the 3, I've got the 4. And right underneath the 4, I've got the 5. If you're not using lined paper, don't worry so much about the space in between. Oh, I just smudged it. Just try to keep it neat like that. We're working on keeping things nice and neat now in kindergarten, okay? So, let's see. Now I have to think. What are some things that I know a lot about? Now, these are typically things that I love to do, or I love to see, or I love to eat, right? It's typically things that I love. We typically know a lot about things if we love them, okay? So let's see. Well, I guess the first thing that pops into my head is my family. I know a lot about my family. All right, so I'll put family here in number 1. We'll make this so you can see me write it, okay? Don't mind my dirty fingernails. I was just out digging in the dirt. So, family. Family. Okay. Let's see. Family. What else do I know a lot about? What else is something that I really love? My dog. He's part of my family, though, isn't he? Yeah, let me keep going. Ooh, gardening. I just told you I was digging in the dirt, right? I love gardening, okay? So, gardening. Notice when I say a sound, I write the sound, and I'm saying it slowly so I can write those letter sounds. All right, let's see. What else do I know a lot of? Ooh, I love camping. Ready? Number 3, camping. Camp. 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 Camping. I love ing. It's just I-N-G. Ing. Garden. Ing. Camp. Ing. Let's see. What else do I know a lot about? Something else that I just love to do. This is called brainstorming. Thinking. Ooh, I love baseball. Okay? I know a lot about baseball. I love baseball. Here we go. Base. Ooh, that A is saying its name. Ace. And I know how to spell all baseball. Okay? One more. Ooh, movies and TV shows. Do you have a favorite movie? Me too. Do you have a favorite TV show? I'll tell you right now, half the kids in our class, you know what their favorite show is right now? In case you haven't seen it yet, it's called Bluey. It's all they talk about is Bluey this and Bluey that. And can we watch Bluey at lunch? And Bluey. And they play Bluey on the playground. They just love Bluey and Bingo and Mom and Dad. And it's a cute show, I admit. But if I mention what's your favorite show to one of the other kindergartners, they would say Bluey. Okay? So I'll write TV for my favorite TV show, or, there's the word, or movie. Movie. Okay. So right now I've generated my list of things that I know a lot about. I know a lot about my family. Check. I know a lot about gardening because I do it all the time. Check. I know a lot about camping because I go camping every year. Check. I know a lot about baseball because it's our family's favorite sport. Check. And I definitely watch TV and have favorite shows, and I definitely watch movies and I have favorite shows. So that is my list. That is something that I would like you to generate today. Does not have to be the same as mine. You definitely do things differently than I do. Maybe you know a lot about your favorite animal. Okay? Or I have a little one in my class who wants to write about her favorite insect. Okay? And some are writing about worms because we just learned about worms and they feel like they know enough about worms now that they could teach somebody else. Okay? And plants and seeds and all of that stuff. So you could write about princesses if you know a lot about princesses. Or Pokemon, if you know a lot about Pokemon. You know, there's all kinds of things. What you could write about a favorite game that you play with your sister and brother. You could write about that. Just make sure that it's something that you know a lot about, because then you're going to enjoy writing it that much more. You see, if Mrs. Lewis says, I want you to write me a book about, I don't know, farming. You might be like, I don't do farming. I don't know what to write. A cow goes moo. A pig goes oink. Right? If you don't do it and you don't know a lot about it, then you're not going to enjoy writing it. But I'm giving you the freedom for you to tell me what you love. Maybe you love dinosaurs. Write me a book about dinosaurs. I would love to see a book about dinosaurs. You can have a page for every single kind of dinosaur you like. Okay? So this is totally up to you. If you want to write me a book about SpongeBob SquarePants, write me a book about SpongeBob SquarePants, okay? I'm leaving it up to you because I want you to enjoy doing it. So after you have come up with your list, then I want you to think over your list, and then you're going to have to pick one. Okay? So which one? And sometimes that could be kind of tricky to do. So then you might have to have a discussion with a mom or your sister or whoever about each of these things and decide, do you really know enough about it to write a book about it? Okay, to write Mrs. Lewis a book about it. So maybe you really do like Bluey, but you've only seen it a couple times. So is that something that you should probably write a book about? Probably not. But maybe you have watched, I don't know, what show? Paw Patrol. You've seen every episode of Paw Patrol or Spirit on Netflix, 100 times. So you probably know a lot about it. Or your favorite movie is Frozen. You could probably write me a whole entire novel about Frozen. I don't want a novel, I just want a couple pages, but you can tell me about what you know and love about Frozen, and that would be a much better choice than, say, Bluey if you've only seen it a couple times, okay? So just keep that in mind as you're making your list. Then you're going to go through, and I want you to pick the one that makes you the most excited, okay? Because the more you're excited to write about something, the better your writing will just naturally be. It'll just be better, okay? So if I'm looking at this, I can already tell right away which one I'm going to eliminate first. Camping. I love camping, but I only go like once, maybe twice a year. It's not something I do all the time or every day. I do like it. I enjoy it, but I'm not so crazy about writing a whole book about it. So, all right, let's see. What's another one? Let's see. I think I'm going to eliminate number 2 as well. I love gardening. I do it all the time. But it's kind of a whole lot of the same thing. You plant seeds, you wait for them to grow, you water them, and you pick them. It's fun, and I love to do it, but it's not really, all that interesting to write a book about. So I'm not going to write about gardening. Let's see. I could write a book about my family. This is true. But I think I'm not going to. I'm crossing off family. I'm torn between writing a book about baseball and my favorite TV show. I don't know. I think I'm going to write a book about my favorite TV show. That's what I'm going to do. And in that book, I will tell you what my favorite TV show is. I will tell you who the characters are that play in the show. I will tell you about my favorite episode. Yes, and what happened in that episode. I will tell you about where you can watch it and when you can watch it. That's already a lot of stuff about my favorite TV show. So that's what I'm going to write about. TV. Why not? Okay? You could write about your favorite food. What's in it? How do you make it? Where do you buy it? Do you have to go certain places? What's your favorite restaurant? Tell me all about that. It's totally up to you. Okay? On top of generating your list and then picking something to write about, okay, I would like for you to tell me about what's going on with your plants. How are your beans doing? Have they germinated finally? Are they starting to grow? This nice hot weather that we've had might have woken things up a bit. I know they have over on my growing rack over here where I have all of my plants growing. Tell me about your tomato and sunflower plant. How did that go? Did you get those planted last Thursday or Friday? I think I sent it to you for Thursday. How are those going? Did anything germinate over the weekend? Let me see. So you got those things to tell me about. If you do have some germination, make sure that you've drawn your picture to match what you're seeing. If it's tall enough where you can measure it, I would love for you to measure it. Okay, because that's part of our math standards as we're going and we're measuring things as they grow. Let me see, what else? What else did I want you to do? Do either some handwriting practice in your handwriting letter formation book. I know you've been doing that pretty diligently. Your Fill It Up. I saw your last page. Good job correcting all your backwards numbers. Study the ones that you had to correct the last time before you start a new one. Maybe practice writing them a couple of times before you start the race of hitting the timer and writing the numbers as fast as you can. Because just as soon as you start doing 1 through 25 in less than 2 minutes with no backwards numbers, I will send you a paper with 50 boxes on it to see how far you can keep going. Maybe you can get to 30, maybe you can get to 32, who knows? So practice that, and that should be good. You'll do some writing, you'll do some number writing, you're going to practice your letters, check out your plants, let me know how they're doing, draw them, measure them, and do your Fill It Up. And that is a good amount of work for you for today, okay? Oh, and, go on to Epic and listen to some read-alouds. Any ones that you want to. I do that in school. I give kids about 10 to 15 minutes every day to go and, just free choose a book that they want to listen to. And I would like you to do that too, because we should be listening to stories every single day, okay? All right, so you have a great day. And I can't wait to see what you got accomplished today on Seesaw. Goodbye.